Welcome to Miracle Network's Wednesday meditation. I'm so glad you're all here to share this time together. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to click the subscribe button below to receive updates and notifications. Today we're joined by Leon Russell, who will lead us in meditation. Over to you, Leon.
Thank you very much indeed, Dan. Lovely to be here and to just, feel that lovely energy of our joining and to extend our gratitude for being free to have this experience together. There's a light in me that is in you and is in everything. All there is light. There is nothing else. Sometimes it appears that I've forgotten this truth, but I cannot really forget. Sometimes it appears that changes occur, but change is impossible. Sometimes it appears that an exit door opens and an aspect of light departs, but there is nowhere else for the light to go. The threads of the tapestry are intertwined in such a way that the notion of distinction and differentiation are meaningless ideas. Perfect oneness cannot be or become separated. We seem to know very little, whilst at the same time being in possession of the eternal knowledge that all is one forever. There are many rooms in my Father's house. All rooms are one room. All places are one place. All moments are one moment. All is now. Now is all. There is nowhere to go, for there is nowhere that is not here. Goodbye is never plural because it is never singular. We are one, indivisible, indistinguishable, ineffable, transconceptual self. Beyond thought, beyond words, beyond form, unthinkable, unspeakable, a formlessness that cannot die nor change. I am with you eternally at the center of everything, beyond time, beyond space, at home in God, dreaming of exile, but perfectly capable of awakening to truth.
Open your eyes and come back into the room. We have 24 minutes left for sharing. If you'd like to speak, raise your hand, and I'll invite you to take yourself off mute. Who'd like to share?
Okay, I'm going to go for it. Everyone happy with that?
Yeah.
Great. So, yeah, I mean, that was a nice 20 years, wasn't it? Masquerading as 20 minutes. And yeah, I just think what an incredible experience to start a new year in that sort of space mentally, where just adjusting to the understanding that you are not all of this activity and the swirling, and also sitting here I can hear the wind outside, which was maybe strengthening that kind of thought as well, to be separate from the swirling motions of how our activity of our mind wants to draw us into engaging with thoughts and memories. And I found myself thinking of realizing that I'd had a really lovely silent present moment where everything had subsided, and then I thought about the part in the course where it says the body's always either remembered or anticipated, and the dawning of that remembrance of that little piece of writing from the course made me think, and I just had a lovely experience where I'd forgotten about being in a body, and I was just existing without connecting to thoughts, feeling the communion of our joining, and how that sort of accentuates the will to be present on behalf of everyone else as well who's joining with you. And also about light, and how incredible it is to think about light, and in its nature to just extend and to just dispel darkness. And also, I think recently there's been a lot of pertinent contemplation for myself around spontaneity, and very much like you could say, it's a given that something will occur because the platform is there. So it might be that a forest fire is inevitable in a dry and parched part of the world where temperatures are soaring. And in a sense, light, the extension of light is inevitable, it's spontaneous, the cause is the effect. So, yeah, thank you, everyone. That was a really lovely, lovely, warm way to start this new day, this new year. Thank you.
Thank you, Leon. Who'd like to share? And Annie, take yourself off mute.
Thank you, Leon, for reminders. There are always reminders. It's very, very helpful, especially at the start of the new year. And we much appreciate it. And so appreciative that we can actually be here, because we are in Ubud in Bali. And the time difference is perfect, because it's 6. Isn't that wonderful? It's been arranged so that we can still join the meditation. So thank you, also Miracle Network, and wish everybody here a wonderful and happy, joyous, peaceful 2025. Thank you.
I'll jump in. I'm grateful we're all here together uh, to see the new year in, and with a beautiful silent meditation, and Leon leading us into it. And I'm reminded that that time isn't real, and everything is in the now. And I'm bringing with me into this new year tools that have helped me through the past year. Things like being present, seeing everyone as my friend, to giving all fears to Holy Spirit for healing, and seeing something good in everything, things like that. And it's just it creates a beautiful space for a new year. I'm done. Who would like to share? Evelyn, and then Jim.
Thank you, Leon, and everyone. It's always amazing to me how much I need that constant reminder, how easy it is for the mind to just slip away into something else. The attention goes out rather than in. And so it is so beautiful to have these lovely weekly meetings, which, although it's 45 minutes, it seems to stretch through the day and through the week. So there's that constant beautiful presence of you all, and that we are all one. And everyone, whatever is happening in the world, there is the love of God through all of it. And of course, for myself, I remind myself often, it's just the appearance. Don't get caught up on the appearance. But of course, I often do. And so I just do the best I can, bring as much humor to my daily life, and not take things too seriously, especially myself. So thank you all. It's just so beautiful to have this communion, which it really is, a holy communion. And bless you all, and bless everyone, everywhere, including all the kingdoms, every kingdom, everywhere. We're all one. Thank you so much. God be praised.
Jim, would you like to share?
Yes, thank you, Dan. I agree with all the comments about the value of these weekly meetings. So it's good to have them, and thank you all for joining us. You started quite early on in your introduction. You mentioned that all there is light, and I found that very stilling, because if I really knew that everything was just light and nothing else, I mean, life would be, well, full of light. It fits in so well with today's lesson. Nothing I see means anything, because if there's just light, it doesn't mean anything. It's just light. And I give, I think that the next lesson tomorrow will be, I give everything the meaning it has. And within that light, which is just the light of awareness, within that, I choose to give things, objects in that light, a meaning. And that's where all the problem starts. And to be reminded that all there is light is just very, I just found it very stilling. So a nice introduction to the meditation, Leon, thank you.
Yeah, beautiful. And, I love that, because when you said all there is light, and that's all there is, or something along those lines, what it made me think is like the non-judgmental observation is the counterpoint to what you're saying. It's like pick out events, people, things, make them distinct and discrete, apply more meaning to something which is on a completely equal level to everything else, to the point where meaning itself is irrelevant, really. And that level playing field is the absence, like you said, the light of awareness. The light is the light of awareness, and awareness is just looking and watching, as the Course says about forgiveness, sits, waits, watches, has no intention to try and affect reality, just a silent observer. And that absence of all of that investment in the chatter comes back to what Evelyn was saying as well about attention, inward or outward. It's like a currency, and the transaction occurs in the present moment, which is all there is. And often like to look at the statues of all the different Buddhas from around the world and actually stop and look at them and say to myself, all of these statues, these people, what is it saying? They've all got their eyes closed. They're all sitting, looking within. They're all abiding within. There's not a single statue of a Buddha from any culture. It's got its eyes open, looking out into the world. They're all looking within. And that's where the light is, and there's nowhere that the light isn't. And, today's lesson is massive. It often makes me laugh because if the ego realized the enormity of the potential to unlock its hold in today's lesson, it would be up in arms. It would be so alarmed, but it's such a quiet, clever way to circumvent everything that the ego presents, to say that nothing I see means anything, because it removes the I, as in the personal self, and it allows you to just experience the level playing field of everything just being one. And in a sense, that spontaneous cause, just inevitability, again allows you to just be this silent observer. And light within the construct of the physics of this universe has no mass, and mass is the only thing which deteriorates. So a photon, a particle of light that came into existence 13.8 billion years ago, and a particle of light that came into existence today, there's no difference in their timeline from the source of light. And in a sense, that shows that within the physics of the universe, light is existing beyond the confines and the structures of what we believe is happening.
John, take yourself off mute.
Hi, everybody. Firstly, Happy New Year to all of you, and to say, wow, I've missed gatherings because just out of necessity and practical things, we've had a lot to get on with recently, and we've either been getting a new house and selling one, and we happen to have missed them. My ego has really got a hold of me recently. I'm so happy to be here this morning and be transparent. I've had a few, physical issues, and that's when I found the hardest thing to remember. To remember the body is not real is when it's hitting you in the face, And but my ego is vicious, so vicious. I mean, the next thing is planning my funeral and who's going to be there, and should I wait for that or just go now because it's too much of a burden for Annie, because I can't do some of the practical things that I normally can do. And it's just been intolerable. And I think how vicious this ego is. I mean, vicious, because at one level, you know, that like life is smooth and all the rest of it, but it finds a way, doesn't it? It finds a way to get you your most vulnerable way. And that's why I need these meetings. And I was so excited this morning because obviously we're 8 hours ahead of you. We woke up nice and late, at 10 o'clock in the morning we woke, and to find that it was lesson number 1 again, I was like a schoolboy. I was like, oh good, I've got to remember all this again. It doesn't mean anything. And yeah, just to say it's lovely. It's so important for me to be around this kind of energy and the book and everything else. And here is such a message where we are now, because the way I see Jesus' message in the Course is really about kindness, total and utter kindness. However, it's unconditional kindness in every moment, into every situation, even if people seem to be, there's a way to be kind. And if ever there's a place where I anyway realize these people here mirror that everywhere we go, the kindness has been just incredible. So I'm really happy that at least because we're here for 3 months, that we'll be nice and still. We're not running around, so we'll be with the gathering every week. So thank you all so much. I've finished. Thank you.
Who'd like to share? Dennis, take yourself off mute.
Leon, first of all, when you spoke at the beginning about truth, I came to the conclusion normally it's the first casualty in everything. But in 1980s, I belonged to a study group and I was asked to do something on truth. And I came to the conclusion, what is truth? And I came to the conclusion that it's inner knowledge, that which cannot be changed, and it is. And when you said about the Buddhas with their eyes closed, maybe they're searching for truth inwards.
They are.
Thank you.
Yeah, they most definitely are. They're actually abiding in it, aren't they? Really, when you look at the energy of those statues, we seem to have, like in our house, we've got them dotted around. They're pretty much in every room, and then in the garden. And it's interesting to be able to walk past them and not see them, and then to actually stop and go, actually address and identify with what it is that they're symbolizing. And also, just in relation to what you were saying, John, it's really important to just view the ego as an activity of mind, not as an entity. It doesn't possess you, hasn't taken over you. You're watching an activity of mind. That in A Course in Miracles, we use the descriptive term ego because of Helen's connection and background with the psychology and psychotherapy. And it is very vicious in its nature, because it's hilarious when it plans our funerals, because if you actually stopped it and said, oh, right, so you would like to die, it's like, of course it doesn't want to die. It wants to go on. And the only way it can go on is in the illusion of being housed in a form which doesn't exist. So, we get to see that self-defeating, circular, irrational, illogical mindset of this activity, which is fighting for its own life whilst at the same time pretending it wants to drown. There's madness for you. But yeah, I just think when you engage with it as an activity and then you realize that you're watching that activity, you're not it, you are this silent observer. And it won't, then it will ramp itself up, won't it? When it realizes you're ignoring it, it will scream louder. So it's all fun and games.
Okay, who'd like to share? Okay, so we've come to the end of our time together. Thank you, Leon, for leading us in meditation. And thank you all for being here. This has been wonderful at this time together. And lots of love to you all.
Thank you, Leon. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Leon.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Leon. Thank you. God bless you.